your connections are important, and your relationships are fundamental. Relationships are always more fundamental than technology. We do need technology, but we don't reach our potential unless our relationships are of a certain quality. And so you work your way back through relationships. Well, why would you have good relationships? Well, because your values dictate to you that you ought to have good relationships. Well, where do those values come from? Well, the values come from certain beliefs. Your beliefs always precede behavior. Well, then where do you get your beliefs? Well, now you come back to how really do you believe certain things about the way the world is? Do you have any convictions about where everything started? And so I think you can work your way back, and then you start with whether or not there's a God, and whether or not the words he left us were truly inspired, whether we can count on them, and whether or not there's any truth to the existence of Jesus as a part of the Godhead, and whether or not there's any truth, to the Bible says over 500 people saw Jesus alive after he was dead. And so if you accept this particular pattern of thought about faith, and I'm not saying everybody has to, but if you do, what kind of encumbrances do you now live with? And so I think we start with a certain theology. We start with a God. It becomes a theology. It becomes a set of values. It becomes a kind of a behavior, which produces a kind of a relationship, which produces a kind of a service or a product.